All right, this is Michael from Ops.ai, and this is day 4 of me, at least reporting on day 4. Day 4 of me reporting in public on my self-experiment of posting on LinkedIn 5 to 12 times a day. Yesterday, I took it easy a little bit more versus the prior day. I did like 9 posts. Let's take a look here. So yesterday, so far, and actually just overall, last 7 days, 105,000 impressions so far from extreme commitment to posting. That's a lot of posting. Hopefully the sound on this is not terrible because apparently my Rode mic is a little fried, so I need to charge it. Reached 64,000 members in that time, including top post, which is at 82,667 impressions. My second one, which was the Diamond Hands Jensen Wong from NVIDIA, 6,388 impressions during that time, followed by 4,400. I think now overall this post is actually a lot higher, but because it was from the prior week. But during this period, 4,471 impressions, which was the do-it-yourself post on a nurse that was not really a nurse, and they found that out when she was getting promoted. You can just do stuff apparently. You can just be a nurse. So, you can still see the extreme difference between stuff that's around my vertical. I made a conscious effort today to try to post more about AI automation, outreach, and content creation on LinkedIn. So talking about frameworks for that, as well as, best practices and tools. So I will report tomorrow on the overall results of that. If I look at my content yesterday, let's just take a look. We're going to change this to just yesterday because that's what we're talking about. The results, I think, were about 9,200. So 9,257 impressions, down significantly from the prior day. Again, the one post keeps coming in. I had a random Joe Rogan post about his ranking in podcasting. So again, when you post on stuff that's trending, that's obviously going to catch. Not obviously, but that's the reality of it. So I did have a post around, I have a secret. I'm an addict to vibe coding. Building several products. I think this is a good way to start having that discussion and posting regularly about the process of using no-code automation tools. In my case, I use a lot of Bolt.new. I've got several projects that are on the go. So ValetCRM.com is one. It's actually tryvaletcrm.com. And then Professor.chat is another project. And I've been more, this kind of CTOing that one, and my team's been helping out. And then PMFlab.fit is something I had done before. And that's kind of a product market fit tracking product where you can set your goals out and then track it. And the one I've been really putting a lot of effort into because it relates to content is viralhooks.work. And viralhooks is very close to actually being a launched product. So that'll be my second launched product. ValetCRM.com I think needs a little bit more work, but that was launched first just to prove that I could do it. That had a lot more involvement also. That was pre-Claude Code 4.5. So I'm posting more about vibe coding because I have several products that are starting as vibe coding products. Saves a significant amount of time. All right, so the reason viralhooks.work is important is because posting this much on LinkedIn, obviously it's growing the attention. It's obviously growing engagement. I'm figuring that out. Engagements, let's take a look at engagements during that time. So yesterday, 246 engagements on 9,200 impressions. It's okay, right? So that's like 197 reactions and 40 comments. So now the goal of this is to keep using this extreme commitment. 5 to 12 times a day is a lot. But viralhooks.work, I believe, is going to help me with that because it's actually the ability to create content agents where they're responsible for a particular topic. I've built it so I can train it. I started building that in Bolt.new. I'm still building it in Bolt.new. My team has helped through Git to fix some of the integrations, including the ability to schedule and post, which is we're working out the schedule and posting feature. And once that's good to go, that'll be a launch product. So I am trying to talk more about vibe coding. I am trying to continue to talk about creating content on LinkedIn and how I get that to convert, which, is a work in progress. So overall, over 100,000 impressions during this time. I'm sure I will have somewhere near that during this 7-day period. I'm on day, reporting on day 4. Technically, I'm working on day 5 today, and I'll report on that tomorrow. So overall, I guess what I've learned is you can get reach, and that is fine. But now I still am trying to figure out how to dial that in as far as my audience. Today, I think the results will show that you can do that, but you have to somehow tie it to trending. So I think one of the features in viralhooks.org that'll be really helpful to continue this level of effort is having independent content agents responsible for a different topic. So if you have 3 content pillars, which is what my intention is to try to narrow it to 3, where I keep posting a lot on that and trying to get engagement with people that are relevant in my ICP, then that'll really help. Because what that does is the content agent will start and build, and it's building pretty good content quality. And some of my content is through that to this point. It's not like releasable to other people. It's just, it's got some quirks about it, including the scheduling not working quite yet, but it's very, very close. But that would help to maintain or even grow this level of effort. And really then you're just human reviewing the content, editing it, or making sure it sounds like me. It doesn't sound like a robot, which so far it actually doesn't. It's pretty good. And the quality of the content is very good because it's using the frameworks that people use for copywriting and for posting on LinkedIn. So that's really helpful. So overall, so far I'm learning that you have to, if you tie it to a trend, you're more likely to get a lot more attention. How do you tie it to a trend and stay relevant? And as someone said to me on a comment, you can have a controversial or, I use controversy or satire to get attention, but controversy doesn't convert. So you'll get a lot of eyeballs, but you won't necessarily get the person you want talking to you. So I've really tried to be more disciplined today with the content that I have coming out. It's not perfect, and I'm working on like a visual framework that will present my brand like some of these top content creators that I'm seeing. So I'm trying to learn from that. So I think by next week I will have that dialed in. I will make another effort tomorrow on my additional content to continue to improve on the consistency of the visual content. And then let's see where we end up. And I'm excited about the fact that I'm almost ready to launch a new product that is related to this. So I think that will help. I have content also that I put out regarding B2B cold outreach and AI automation, which also ties into products that I have and opportunities that I'm looking for. So overall, very good reach, still working on conversion, but I am definitely dialing in the visual aspect of it and engaging with my ICP more. All right, so I will report on day 5 progress tomorrow. And thank you for following this, and comment, save, engage, and let's be friends.